Hello, so Edward Palmer,
Hi.
Hugh Hernandez.
Yes.
Okay, so director, writer, and lead actor in the film Stray.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had the great pleasure to watch it yesterday evening. Okay, in the first screenings for This Is England Festival 2024, and it was a big surprise because it's a Western film, and so it's quite unusual for This Is England Festival, of course. So first, can you tell us about what popped up the idea of shooting a Western film? And okay, please.
It was your idea initially, wasn't it?
Yeah. But the Western genre is more of a like the background, you know, with which, and then we wanted to do something on top of that that was completely different. Initially, I'm just very intrigued by the genre itself, by that period in time in America. It's also a very, popular and historic genre. It's the sort of revenge genre by definition as well. And yeah, but essentially we just wanted to talk about the story about family. I just watched a load of Westerns for like a week. I got inspired. I took some ideas from different stuff that I watched, and then I came up with my own. It was sort of like a natural flow of things. There's not really a specific motivation for making a Western, really. Yeah.
All right. And in terms of directing, shooting it, I mean, what makes it different to do a Western film?
I don't think I'm necessarily like a Western fanatic, but I really like dark films, suspense, thriller. And when Hugh came to me with the project, as it was written as a two-hander, like an earlier draft, I could see that it could be made very, very tense, and you could build up to some climactic moments and have a lot of reveals in the script. So yeah, it was really more about the specific subject matter that interested me, that it could be, you could see people with hidden intentions, a threat of violence, and have a really kind of gritty story.
Yeah, so that's what I really liked in the film, is precisely this building up of tension we've got all the time, and then there is some kind of anticlimax when there is violence getting in. So in the writing process and directing process, how did you work to build up these scenes? Is there a recipe to build up tension in a film, or is it something more depending on the setting? I mean, you've got a wonderful setting with this little house, and so how did you work to build up the tension like this?
Well, yeah, I'd say once Hugh brought the film to me, we sort of redrafted it, and I came up with the idea that, because originally it was from a monologue Hugh had written, which obviously is all one person talking, and I thought, to make this, in part to make it more appealing to the actor that has to share the screen with you, I thought, wouldn't it be interesting if both characters tell stories, and maybe they're both not entirely telling the truth, but there's a seed and hints of the reality of the situation for an audience to pick up on. And I thought, if they're both hiding the truth from each other, that'd be intriguing, and also could be really tense, as obviously there's got to be a reason that you're hiding it, and perhaps it's quite sinister. And then I think, in terms of creating tension visually, I think we stumbled upon the lighting, for instance, because we just didn't have too much money, so we found a very cheap and tiny Airbnb, and it had no electricity, and you could only fit about 5 people in it, and that was too many. So it ended up that we had to light it using fire, like natural light, lanterns, candles, and that created like a chiaroscuro looking light, where it's very dark and you've got basically a single source and you can't see the whole face, which I think adds to this idea that something is hidden, something is mysterious. And then it's always the way, but we didn't have enough time to shoot, so I would have done more with the camera. It's a lot reverse shot, but I think the way that we've edited it, you can sit on these moments, and just in performance you can kind of see that there's something going on below the surface. You can see the cogs whirring and things clicking into place. There's a few moments that work really well. Like, I'm really happy with how there's a reveal that's sort of shown in a reflection, and you kind of get put in the POV of the person who the stakes have been turned on, and then you suddenly feel that they're kind of low down and vulnerable, and the power has changed, which I'm really happy how that turned out.
Yeah, and the effects are great. It's very dark view on human. I mean, yeah. Well, do you think human nature is so dark and twisted?
Yeah, it can be, definitely. I think, well, we should really try for it not to be, but I think that does exist, and especially in that period in time, it does exist. And, you know, at the same time, it's fiction, so you can you have the freedom to tell whatever story you want to tell, and it might not be entirely accurate, or that might have never happened, which I think it has, but maybe it hasn't. Nonetheless, you know, you still get to tell a story that might resonate with loads of people, and I think audiences can get very different things from that same piece, you know. So, yeah.
I think what we were reaching for, and I'm not sure how successful it was to show that Hugh's character essentially wants revenge and has this idea that it'd be cathartic and you know, relief in some way to kind of do something he's felt has been done to him to someone that deserves it. And then the ending was meant to show that kind of evil, sinister, vindictive intent just creates, it's almost cyclic, like it creates the same problem for someone else.
Yeah, never-ending stuff.
Yeah.
Well, never-ending indeed.
So the generational sort of trauma of, and the whole element of religion, as well as the sin being passed on from generation to generation. In this case, as I said before, a story about family. You know.
All right.
So yeah.
Okay, I'm just come in. All right. Okay, so about the working process, how do you manage to work? I mean, how do you share things? How do you discuss things? And
well, I think in this case it was pretty. I think it was pretty clear in some ways, because I can write and I can act. I think, I hope, but I don't know anything about cameras or film or, you know, the technical skills that you need to do that. So I needed someone that could do that, that had experience and talent to do that. And so that's when I reached out to Ed so that he could take care of that side of things. Then we ended up sort of, you know, meshing everything together, and Ed also participated in co-writing the script, sort of giving it his input, and then we combined that. But yeah, I mean, that's basically, that's the partnership. And then we also sort of produced it together as well. There's also another member of the team who couldn't make it, Hannah, but she also helped write it and produce the film. So it was a three-person team kind of thing. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say, because he is it fair to say you're more from a theatre background? So then there was a lot of things where I had maybe a little bit more experience and would kind of have to I don't know, maybe it's open your mind to how much of I've never done theatre, but like I think maybe you had the idea that it was quite a achievable project, and then you realise, it's at night, it's in a different period. This is actually a real challenge.
And I need fire and guns, and you don't think about these things if you don't have the experience or if you've never done it before.
No, that's a producer's job.
Exactly. But you know, you have to just get in there.
You have to do it.
Throw yourself in the deep end, and
the thing is, I'm always fascinated by the fact that you guys want to become filmmakers and be filmmakers, because it's, I mean, so difficult, and I mean, you've got so many people involved in the process, and after that, I mean, you need to get your films to be screened. So hopefully, you are screened here, and we're very happy with that. But it's a lot of gambling, I think, and well, what pushes you to do that?
I think it's fair. I think it's fair to say it's really hard to keep your enthusiasm, and then coming to a festival like this, like very grateful to Fanny and yourself and the others for screening in like a real cinema and it being really well projected, because it's things like this that make you actually go, it kind of is worth doing. Like, it was a nice full screen. People were genuinely interested in watching new work. But yeah, I think maybe one of the things that is just a part of filmmaking is that you have to sacrifice a lot of things that you thought you wanted. Like the whole ending is completely different just because we ended up not having enough time. And you have to go, oh, there's the stages of it, isn't it, where you write it and then you shoot a different movie and then you edit a completely different movie. But yeah, just wanted to say thank you as well for having us. It's been an incredible experience, and that sort of thing kind of makes me excited to actually spend another year.
The least we can do. I mean, I mean, there is so much work behind the film, and the least we can do is to just try to screen it in good conditions.
Well, thank you so much for selecting us. It was truly a great experience, as Ed said. You know, for him, I guess it's seeing, you know, his film on the big screen. For myself, it's, you know, it's also the film, but seeing myself as an actor on the big screen was such a touching moment. And it is an incredibly difficult job to do, whether it's filmmaking, acting. If you're in the arts, the creative arts are brutal, and it's very difficult, very competitive. At the end of the day, it's just, I guess, just passion. And I think if you're a person that's willing to take risks, I think is very important. I'm lucky enough to be young and enough to be able to take that risk and just see where the journey takes you. And as I said, it's passion. If you love something, then you'll do everything you can to do it. And this project is I think it's proof of that. My passion, Ed's passion, Hannah's passion as well, of writing and directing, trying to make something that people will enjoy and hopefully resonate with. And you just got to keep on. Got to keep on going. You know. Yeah,
you're right. Never stop.
Never stop. Exactly.
Well, thank you very much. And
thank you.
Well, we'll watch you in the future, and maybe we'll get you back to Rouen.
That would be amazing.
Another one.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Thank you.